You know, it's such a good feeling to finally be at a point in my Cosmere journey where I get to immerse myself into Roshar again by reading Oathbringer, but this time I'm not doing it alone. What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. You're with Chris, and today I'll be wrapping up another really good week where for me it was all about the Cosmere, and my Cosmere journey has been a thrill ride from start to finish, and I'm very happy with where I'm sitting, particularly since I'm now up to date and on track for being ready for Stormlight Archive Book 5 to be released on the 10th of December, so I'm really excited about that. I've read most of the books. I only have a few more to read to get completely up to date, and Oathbringer is going to be amazing. So what happened this week? Well, I was in a race against time to get ready for Oathbringer. Now, in order to do that, I had to read, over the last couple of weeks, I had to read the first 3 books in Mistborn Era 2, and I'm happy to say that I finished books 2 and 3 this week. So I have actually put up my review for book 2, which was Shadows of Self, which I thought was the weakest book of the 3. So there were a few things I spoke about in my review of that one, if you haven't caught it, and I outlined my reasons why that was the case. But then I also put up my review yesterday, in fact, for The Bands of Mourning, which was book 3, and that was a much better entry. I think books 1 and 3 were the strongest books of the 3, and I was very happy with how book number 3 ended. So if you haven't caught that review either, please watch that one, because I do go into why I really enjoyed the book, and more importantly, it brings me all up to date, so I'm ready to embark on my buddy read for Oathbringer that I'll be doing with John from Talking Story. We're just about ready to go. I'm waiting for him to ping me when he's ready to dive in, and we're going to go for it and try and get it done before the end of June. So we've got you know, he has the same kind of reading speed as myself, average of about 100 pages a day on average. Now, in both our cases, that might change, because 100 pages a day is kind of a minimum. If the book is going to go how we think it will, how much we'll enjoy it, I think there might be some days where we read 200 pages a day. Just depends on how gripping a certain section of the book is, but we both can't wait. Another thing that happened this week is on more of a somber note. We received the devastating news that on the 11th of June, our booktube brother Scott from the Bookish Bryans passed away this week. Becky sent out the word officially on YouTube, and it was, you know, it wasn't the best news, particularly when I learnt that Scott, you know, Becky singled out my channel because she was saying how proud Scott was of the channel, and that was really humbling. And you know, there's things there that were unfinished. I mean, Scott was one of the first people that reached out to me when I first started on YouTube. I had no idea what I was doing, and I was very frustrated, and I was very down because I'd been on it for a few months and I only had 13 subscribers. And Scott saw my channel and was so impressed with it, he just reached out to me, welcomed me with open arms into the booktube community, and an instant friendship was struck up. And it's just a little bit shocking that he's not here anymore, and my heart goes out to Becky and her family. I can't imagine how difficult it's going to be moving forward. And I have actually shared a link to Becky's GoFund page on my community tab. If you haven't looked at that, please do. But yeah, we had spoken over the last few years. He was one of the he actually invited me to participate in reading projects, and it's been mentioned on BookTube recently how the Scott and Becky created reading projects like New Worlds November and Horror Mayhem, both of which I've been a part of. But one that wasn't mentioned that I had forgotten about myself was February Fantasy Stories as well, which was another reading project that Scott and Becky created, where the theme for that particular month was all about short stories in the fantasy genre, which had different prompts and things like that. So That was going back a few years now, and I actually caught a little bit of the original live stream we did for that, where I was very, very green at the time and had no confidence. And it's taken me 3 years on BookTube to actually get to a point now where I'm a lot more animated on days that I do my videos. I still do quite a number of outtakes. That's very, very hard to get videos right, and once they are right, I'm generally pretty happy with them. But I am a little bit more animated, and has been very difficult for me to get that confidence going. And he was just amazing, positive person, and very accommodating and welcoming. And one thing I am going to One thing I'm going to regret is not being able to do some buddy reads that we were talking about at the start of the year. He actually looked at my channel and reached out and said he saw some of the books I wanted to read, and he's like, I'd like to read some of those books with you. So we got talking, and I'm going to talk about a couple of those books in my mid-year freak-out tag I'm going to be doing next week. So we're not going to be able to buddy read those. But in honour of Scott, I am going to read them before the end of the year. And he might just be looking over my shoulder while I'm reading them. I said to myself I wasn't going to cry on camera. I've already done that in private, so... But yeah, he's going to be missed, and he was such a big part of BookTube, and it's because of him that I met all the wonderful co-hosts in the reading projects, and they've become my friends as well. My heart goes out to those as well, because they are hurting as well. So, but not to put a damper on this weekly update video, but I thought, I have to mention something. So there you go. All right. So the books that we were going to buddy read, I'm going to reveal those in my mid-year freakout tag, because there are books I want to finish by the end of the year. That's one of the prompts, and these books are going to be moved up the line, essentially. And so in honour of him, I do want to read those, and I'm looking forward to reading them. So it's a way I can honour him, and he's going to be missed. Alright, so let's move on. Alright, so what I've been watching with the wife, we have been watching True Detective, Season 4, Night Country, the one with Jodie Foster. It's been a really good series that we've been gripped by, but it's very, very out there. It's set in Alaska, and there appears to be a killer on the loose, and it's very, very creepy, and there is a supernatural element that is making things a little bit out there, which, we're not quite sure how it's going to pan out. We're up to episode 5, I think, so we've got 2 more episodes to smash it out. We generally watch 1 episode per each night, so we're almost finished, and it could have a weird ending, I don't know, but we'll see how that pans out. As for next week, something I'm planning on doing, the bookshelves behind me are an absolute mess at the moment, so I'm going to be doing some rearranging. Already I've done a mini book unhaul. You can see the empty shelf behind me there. I'm starting to work out what don't I want. I'm not going to give them away or sell them. I'm going to put them away in boxes out the back, because I've made that mistake before where I have unhauled books and sold them off, and then a few years later, when I'm wanting to read those kind of books again, I've regretted it. So not again. I'll put them away in boxes, and if I get to them in another few years, well, there you go. So that might be something I might do, but it's a big job. We'll see how time goes, but it's a massive job. It nearly takes a full day to completely rearrange everything and move the books from one shelf to another and that sort of thing. Alright, and next week obviously it's going to be all about Oathbringer by Brandon Sanderson, Stormlight Archive book number 3. Look at this, it's 1300 pages long, so it will take an average of about 12 days, maybe less, which is what my prediction is, if John and I are going to be enjoying it the way we think we will. And it should be fantastic, and I can't wait to share my thoughts with you and compare notes with John, because we are going to be messaging back and forth on Twitter and comparing notes all the way through, sharing our excitement and standout moments from the book, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's going to be fantastic, and can't wait to talk about it. So there you go, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I've got 5 more subscribers to get to 500. If you can help me get there, I'm going to do a live Q&A celebration, which will be really good to do. And I might even send out a StreamYard invite to a few people to come along for a bit of a chat as well. If they, I'll send them the link, and if they turn up, they turn up. If they don't, they don't. But I'll send out the invites and just go live and chat about nothing, and think of some topics to cover, and invite questions from anyone. So that should be good. So as always, offer up any feedback below, and until the next video, happy reading.